Hello, I'm Kim Kiyosaki, and Robert and I are very excited to introduce you to Rich Dad Education's advanced trainers and mentors. And people often ask us, once we play the cash flow game, what's next? Well, advanced education, the Rich Dad Education advanced trainers, the mentors, that's what's next. I've personally met many of these people, and I've got to say this, these are people that practice what they preach. They walk their talk. They're out there doing the deals, the real estate investments, the stock exchange, stock options, paper assets. They're out there doing it, and they are teaching you what they've done. They've made a lot of mistakes. They're sharing the mistakes they've learned, the lessons they've learned, and we are really, really proud to be associated with this group of people.
And I want to say that years ago, I was in 1973, my flying days as a Marine was over. And I was watching a late night infomercial, and I saw this infomercial come on that was about real estate. And I trundled on down to the free seminar and went there. And back then the course was 3 days and $385. Now, doesn't sound like a lot of money today, but that was because I wasn't making that much money. I was making about $500 a month. So $385 was a lot of money for me. Yet I still found a way, paid for the training. It was one of the best decisions I ever made in my whole life, because that $385 has made me millions of dollars over and over again. It saved me a lot of pain and headache, It saved me making a lot of stupid, blundering mistakes. But most importantly, it set me free. So the reason I'm very happy about these advanced trainers is many of them come from the same educational path I came from. You see, I was going back from my MBA, but I didn't want to climb the corporate ladder. Because the trouble with climbing the corporate ladder, when you look up, there's a big butt in your face, That wasn't my kind of education. So if you want to go get your MBA or your PhD, this is not for you. But for those of you who want to just climb the corporate ladder without looking at a big butt in front of you, Rich Dad Advanced Trainers are it. And the reason there's so many of them is because, as Warren Buffett says, there is more than one way to get to financial heaven. And after you've played the cash flow game, the most important thing you got to ask yourself is which way is best for you. For example, I love entrepreneurship. Kim is a rocket scientist on real estate. That's why Ken McElroy is our partner in that, but Kim is really the lead dog on real estate. I love paper assets. I've studied technical trading, the ups and downs, covered calls, writing naked puts, and all that other stuff. Not because I do it, but because it completed my financial education. So the point is, there's probably about 12 different paper asset courses and about 12 different real estate courses. There's land development, foreclosure, short sales, as well as apartment houses, which Kim and I do, and all this. So again, the lesson is, or the message is, as Buffett says, there's more than one way to get to financial heaven. So after you've gone through playing cash flow at least 10 times, I highly recommend that, then you've got to start asking yourself, which one is best for me? Is it paper assets? Is it real estate? Is it business? Is it commodities? You see, there's not one way for everybody else. Of the two, probably the two that takes the most financial intelligence is entrepreneurship and real estate. And the reason for that is entrepreneurship requires dealing with people, which has got to be insane to deal with them. Number two is real estate is debt, and you've really got to understand how to use debt, because with stocks you can get in and out quickly, but in real estate when you're handling debt, it's hard to get in and out of. And gold and silver, they're really great for people with very little financial education. But the great news is you can get in and out like stocks with gold and silver. And silver is the best investment today because there's less silver than gold in the market today. So my message is, get educated first. Invest a little time and a little money. It'll save you time, money, and a lot of heartache from losing a lot of money. So that's why we have Rich Dad's Education. There's so many different ones, so many different of them. They all practice what they preach. They are the advanced trainers, and Kim and I actually sign up to do their courses because we have to keep educated, right? If we're not getting educated, we're not growing.
I'll say this, when I graduated college, I thought that was the end of my education. I did not want to sit in another classroom and listen to one more teacher tell me what I'm supposed to do. I was done. And then I took my very, very first class. Actually, my first gift that Robert gave me was not jewelry, was not any vacation anywhere. My very first gift was an accounting course.
And the reason is, if we were going to get married, I want to make sure she knew the difference between assets and liabilities, you know. There's no sense marrying a woman who thinks liabilities are assets, because it makes life painful.
But this class was very, very different. It was not your traditional, college class of accounting assets and or the balance sheet must balance. It wasn't any of that. It was taught in a game environment. It was participatory. It was hands-on learning. It was fun. And the most important thing for me is it reignited my love of learning. I found out I really do love to learn, but I just didn't like it in the classroom style that the traditional education taught me. So Rich Dad education is anything but traditional. It teaches in ways that are relevant, it's hands-on, practical, you actually get to get out there and do what they talk about.
And if you're good, you make a lot of money, that's as good, you know?
So the most important thing for me is I found out, again, I love to learn, and then the question is, what is it I want to learn? So as in the Rich Dad education, all the courses that they have, there's so many different options that it's up to you to decide what of the 4 asset classes is most interesting to you. Is it business, real estate, paper, commodities? What ones are you most interested in that you want to study, and then go through the selection and choose the ones? And I'm going to tell you, it's some of the best education I've come across. Robert and I are going to be taking these classes, and we're learning right along because we were the students in that classroom. We sat in that classroom, and that's how we got our education, so we understand. But again, I can't say enough about the advanced trainers and the mentors. They really are terrific people, and they know what they're talking about.
So the other thing I want to say is this: so many losers out there, people who have their PhDs and MBAs and all this, or the economists, they say investing is risky. Investing is not risky. Being uneducated is risky. Listening to people who don't know what they're talking about is risky. So ultimately, it's up to you. For Kim and I, getting rich, but not so much getting rich, becoming financially free, not needing a job, not worrying about money is priceless. So that's why we endorse Rich Dad's education. And remember this in closing: what is really risky is being uneducated, no experience, and lacking character. Those are the things that make people successful. You need some education, you need to go out, get some experience, and if you have high character, freedom is yours. So thank you for listening to this, and please take a look at all these instructors for Rich Dad's advanced education, plus their mentors. These mentors come out, give you a hand-to-hand, guide you along the way step by step. So there's a priceless education factor, and remember, it's much better to pay for this than to spend a lot of money, lose a lot of money, and be in anguish.
Hi, my name is Scott Stewart. I'm a basic trainer in the stock division for the Rich Dad Company, and my background and how I got involved with the Rich Dad organization, I have 25 years of experience as a financial advisor. That sounds impressive, but it's not really what it seems to be. I was a typical financial planner. I sold mutual funds and annuities to individuals, and not only did I not make any wealth for those individuals, but I really wasn't doing very well for myself either. And about 4 years ago, I was introduced to the Rich Dad philosophy, the Rich Dad organization, and what they taught and the principles that they espoused. And it was a life-changing experience for me. It changed the way that I perceived money in my own individual life. It changed the way that I approached money with individuals that I talk with as clients. And it was so profound and so life-changing for me that I became a full-time trader 4 years ago. And that's all I do right now is I trade the markets. We show students just like yourselves how to make money in up markets, down markets, and sideways markets. And the thing that I think I get the most empowerment from as I work with new students is seeing that light bulb go off. As people realize that they truly can take control of their own lives and their own finances. And I think if there was one thing that I would be able to say to any new student coming into the program is that there is control that you can have, that you can be the master of your own destiny. You can become what you want to be if you'll just take an empowering approach to it.